Welcome back, CA. This is part B of episode 3, the informational text and multiple choice questions. During this episode, we're going to look at how to best answer multiple choice questions using a strategy we'd like to introduce to you. Here, the strategy is an acronym called CLUE. So C stands for crossing out any wrong answer. L is for locating the information in the paragraph or the text itself. That's why we did a lot of highlighting. So we'll go back and see if we can locate where each of these questions are. U is for understanding the context or the meaning of the word, of the quotation, of the sentence. And E is for eliminating any distracting answers. Answers that really don't have anything to do with the question or the reading that we've just highlighted. So let's go through. Now, we're not going to answer every question together here, but we will choose question number 2 to begin with. And let's see how we can apply the strategy CLUE to best find our answer. So 2 asks, what does Rebholz's quotation in lines 4 and 5 contribute to the selection? Right away, it asks us to look at a specific part, line 4 and 5. So we'll go back to the highlighted text and look. Line 5 is given to us. Line 4 is before. So let's read. I would start with the sentence before, just so we have a really good understanding. So I might start at the end of line 3. The tools in the ice are heavy, so sculptors need endurance and strength. It's physically demanding working nonstop under a time constraint, says Dan Rebholz, who has been carving for 22 years. Just because it says to end at line 5, you want to keep going until the end of the sentence. In fact, I'm going to look a little further because I don't know if I have an answer yet. He is a veteran of 100 competitions, a 3-time world champion, and a certified judge with the National Ice Carving Association. I'm just reading what we highlighted previously because we thought everything was important there. So let us see now what the question asks us to do. A. Is he contributing an expert opinion? B, is it a specific example? C, is it a contrasting or opposite opinion? Or D, is it a link between 2 topics? So the strategy I'm going to use here from CLUE, apart from locating, which we just did, is E, eliminate. Let's eliminate any answers that we know are automatically correct or distracting us from the actual purpose. Is it an expert opinion? An expert opinion could make sense. We see that he's been carving for 22 years, he's a veteran of 100 competitions, and he's a certified judge. So I wouldn't eliminate that yet. B, is it a specific example? The sentence before, which we read, says sculptors need endurance and strength. It's physically demanding working nonstop under a time constraint. It's not really an example of endurance and strength. It just says it's physically demanding. He doesn't say what he does to prepare or how he needs strength. So I'm going to cross out B. That doesn't seem to lead us to the right answer. C, a contrasting opinion. When we have a contrast, it means there's an opposite. Does he give us an opposite opinion in his quote about sculptors needing endurance and strength? No, he agrees. It's physically demanding, working nonstop under a time constraint. He's agreeing with the sentence before, so we're going to get rid of C as well. That is not a contrasting opinion. D, finally, a link between 2 topics. Okay, so the topic before was tools in ice are heavy, sculptors need endurance and strength, and his quote says it's physically demanding working nonstop. No, there's no 2 topics there. He continues to talk about the same thing. So we've eliminated D and are left now with A, an expert opinion. Do we feel good about this? Well, again, he's been carving for 22 years and is a certified judge. We highlighted that in the first part of the video. So yes, he can be considered an expert. And there you have one example of how to use the strategy CLUE. So what we did was we located the information in the paragraph, and then we used the eliminating any obvious, distracting, or wrong answers to come up with our answer, which was A. Let's look at one more question and show another example of how we can use the strategy CLUE. This time we'll look at question number 6. What is the best meaning for spectacle as used in line 17? Okay, again, right away, we're told where to look. So first off, we're going to use the strategy to locate. Let's locate in the paragraph that we highlighted, line 17. Line 17 is found here. 15, we are told, is located here. So 15, let's read from there on because we do have some highlighting. So, sculpture of a reclining woman, her arm reaching up to a bird. Just before the judging, it toppled. That was 16. and this one is 17. This is the line we're looking for. When its last supporting pillar was cut, a spectacle, look, we underlined that, we highlighted that before, viewed over 10,000 times on YouTube. Okay, we need to find the best meaning of the word, and we have 4 options. The first is artwork. Let's look. Is the word spectacle easily replaced with artwork? Okay, let's put in artwork and see what the sentence sounds like. When its last supporting pillar was cut, an artwork viewed over 10,000 times on YouTube. Let's think. On YouTube, I go on YouTube to look at videos of fun stuff, maybe a music video. I'm not really on YouTube to look at art. So I don't think artwork is the best word for spectacle in this one. Here I'm using the strategy of crossing out. So it's not answers that don't make sense. These answers could make sense, but in this case, we don't want to use the word artwork because it doesn't make sense. We cross it out, and we're also using you for understanding the context. So we used our previous sentence and our previous knowledge to know what we do on YouTube to say artwork is not the best answer. B, celebration. Okay, celebration. Let's put that into the sentence. Just before the judging, it toppled when its last supporting pillar was cut. A celebration viewed over 10,000 times on YouTube. A celebration is usually a party or a festivity, something happy is going on. It doesn't seem that when the supporting pillar was cut, there was a celebration, especially because we see previously we've highlighted the potential for tragedy. At some point, we did make mention to the fact that when the pillar was cut, it wasn't great. It was something tragic. So celebration, again, understanding the context, doesn't make sense as our answer to question number 6. We're going to cross that out as well. So again, using location, using understanding the context, and crossing out. Let's look at answer C, competition. Does competition make sense here? Well, if we put in competition, just before the judging, it toppled when its last supporting pillar was cut. A competition viewed over 10,000 times on YouTube. Competition. Well, this is a competition for ice sculpting, but we're really talking about the very last part when its supporting pillar was cut. That doesn't seem to be the competition. So again, we're using the context to understand that competition doesn't quite make sense in this sentence. So we're going to cross that out. It seems that we're left with D, phenomenon. We should double check to make sure that we're happy with the answer by putting it in. So phenomenon. Just before the judging, it toppled when its last supporting pillar was cut. A phenomenon viewed over 10,000 times on YouTube. Phenomenon. Okay. So if something is phenomenal, it means it's great, it's really outstanding, it's out of the ordinary. Okay, phenomenon viewed. Lots of people go on YouTube to see interesting things, things that are out of the ordinary, things that probably are considered a phenomenon. So using previous knowledge and understanding the context, I can feel very safe in saying that the answer to question 6 is D, phenomenon. Now, this is 2 examples of how to best use the strategy clue to be able to answer these questions. We want to remind you as well not to forget that you have to first please include your answers on the bubble sheet provided for the multiple choice, otherwise your answers won't be marked. Okay, CA, stay tuned for episode 4, where we go through and answer an open response, which is question number 7 based on the reading selection, main idea, and one specific detail.